Okay, I'm ready to rumble, ready to do a little video on where I'm at with my food, diet, and exercise. Anybody who's listening, thanks for caring enough to listen. I enjoy expressing where I'm at because even though it seems like such a trivial matter, for me it's huge. It's huge. It's sort of where I live. It consumes a lot of energy, it consumes a lot of attention. And even if I don't express it, if I don't speak it out or share it with anybody, it's my own personal journey and it's my own personal battle, so to speak, or obsession, concern, and I am finding that doing these YouTube videos it's good for me to kind of congeal um, like a moment in time to do like a marker. Like if you're driving down the road and you see little mile markers, like this is a little marker of where I am now and which direction I'm headed in. Am I headed this way or am I headed that way? And to correct my course at each time I check in, so that I get where I want to go, where I want to be headed, and instead of where I've gone many times before. So anyway, actually today I weighed in. I was 122.22 or something. It was great. I was dreading getting on the scale. I hesitated getting on the scale because I felt a little kind of bloated when I got up. But nope, I did a lot of running yesterday, and that with sort of a Japanesey kind of diet. Even though I had my delicious peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, it wasn't enough to offset the running and the Japanese food. When I actually ate, I had sushi. I had what's the soup? I can never remember the name of the soup. Miso soup with vegetables. Very satisfying. I really like that type of diet, but not fattening. It's a very agreeable for me style of eating. And Japan is a testimony to an entire nation that keeps its weight very much in check. And the chocolate chip cookies, well, what are you going to do? So anyway, as long as I do the exercise. Now today I went out for a run and I kind of was aborted twice. I had to get back. I don't even quite remember what I had to do, but twice I came back. And the second time, that was sort of it. I was in for the day. I knew I had to start paying attention. And that has to do with leaving on my 3.5-day vacation tomorrow morning. And I'm finishing up the report. Oh, I know what it was. It was my goals meeting today. I had a wonderful goals meeting today. And that was it. Yeah, and I got a phone call from an old friend, and I've been wanting to talk to her. So that was a really nice conversation, but I couldn't get my running in. I did do my yoga tonight, which I was real pleased with it. And I really felt like stretching. It's a great feeling to feel like you want to stretch. That is good. And that has to do, I think, with having the weight off, so that I feel in touch with my kind of muscles and skeletal structure, and my body wants to stretch. That's a very good place to be in my estimation. So I was very task oriented today, getting ready, getting my report finished, my magazine completed, and also getting in as many of the things I had to get done before we leave on our trip, which is washing the car, getting my laundry done, trying to get to the grocery store. I didn't quite do that. There's things that I kept trying to do that didn't get done. And but progress was made, and I'm in pretty good shape now. The magazine is approved and ready to be sent to the printer, which is great. And now I just have to meditate, and I'm going to go off to Walmart. Thank goodness for our 24-hour-a-day stores. It's really helpful here in Iowa, in the middle of the country. Pretty much, it's nice to have a 24-hour-a-day store like Walmart that has basically everything. And I just wanted to talk about, I went to the rec center tonight, and my friend saw me. I have a lot of trouble with the girls in the locker room because they all they kind of give me the raspberry about being too thin. You're too thin. You can stand to gain some weight. It's like, ugh, ugh, ah. It's just so irrelevant and immaterial to me. It's just like, boy, it's just, these are not educated comments. These are just offhand opinions, like everybody's got them, and they all stink. And I'm learning more and more, especially as I do these YouTube videos. And I was talking to my friend on the goals meeting today about going back east to see a lot of people I haven't seen before. And my friend asked me if I had, improved in any way, if I'd leveled up. And I said, well, I've lost weight, but I don't always get a positive response about it. I'm not really looking for a positive response. I'm not losing weight for others. I'm doing it for Carolyn. It's my body, and I'll do it. I want to. So, but I am, and I said to her, I said, I might not get the responses that I expect, and they might be very surprising and very negative. I might get a lot of pressure to gain weight because when people see, I've lost 35 pounds and, wasn't especially fat to begin with. I think I was misshapen, but everybody's got, a desire to kind of keep people in a little pigeonhole and the same. It has to do with, wanting the sun to come up in the same part of the sky and, night to come. And people like regularity. And when they see a person, they want to see the person they saw before. And if they see a semblance of the person, they think it's the person, but they've changed a lot. And somehow it's very upsetting to them. And they keep wanting you to go back. Even if it was worse, go back. And there's a guy at the rec center, he was sitting at the front desk, and he lost a lot of weight, and he looked like a completely different person. If you didn't know that you saw him every day at the same job, you wouldn't know it was the same man. Now, he looked a lot better. He didn't look bad before. He was just overweight, kind of the typical American pizza-loving overweight. And when he lost the weight, he shrunk and he just didn't even look like the same person, but he looked fine, And I said to him once, I said, do you get a lot of pushback and what do you do? And, he just explained to me that he just, tells people he did it for himself and, what can I do to tell you, and that's really what I need to do is rest in myself and rest in my own truth and just like, wish these people well, but just not even listen to them, because it's irrelevant and immaterial. I feel so much better with the weight off. And, the idea that I would gain weight to somehow satisfy some little check mark in these people's little worldview, it's just frightening. As hard as I've worked and as important it is to me, as much pleasure as it has given me, and I still want to lose more weight. And I remember seeing, it was like a Facebook feed or something, and somebody said, and one thing you don't say to these people is, yeah, and I plan on losing more weight, because then they really freak out. They go, oh no! Like they're going to call the fire department or something, Ay. And the interesting thing, and I may have said this on this little blog before, nobody walks up to people who are overweight and say, you really shouldn't you shouldn't gain any more weight. You're getting a little fat. You're almost bordering on obese. You're getting into a zone where you're going to start having major health problems. Do you want to have to go on some kind of prescription medicine for a chronic illness for the rest of your life that can only be cured by losing weight? Are you one of those people who's going to have a hip or a knee or both or all three or all six replaced with your ankles and your thigh bone? I mean, really? That could really just be cured by taking off some weight? There is something wrong with our culture, and I mean it's freaking serious. And I really get to see it having lost this weight, because I get like the allergic reaction to somebody who is really just a normal body weight for my frame, but I'm thin, naturally thin person, and this culture just will not tolerate anybody who is a lean, thin person. It's like a crime. It's like you're a freaking criminal. There's a lot of crimes going on, but it's not with the thin people. I'm telling you right now. Nobody's making any money off of me, though. Can't harvest me. Can't, No. No, 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 no. Okay, well, that's all I've got for tonight. I'm going on my trip tomorrow, and might not be logging in for a couple days because of, being on a trip with other people and sitting around talking to myself into the video camera. Probably not. But maybe we'll see. Because I do want to make sure I don't overindulge with food at this. It's like an Indian festival, and I love Indian food, and they have wonderful desserts. I don't want to spend too much money, and I don't want to gain too much weight. So I will try to check in and just, go outside maybe with my video phone and do a check-in, because it helps me. Okay? Wish me luck. Okay.